My name's Angelo, and welcome to We Want Picks. We break down full fight cards every single week. We give you our picks, our bets, and our fantasy plays. Make sure you like and subscribe so you don't miss any of our content. And this is brought to you by Earn You. Earn You is the world's first sports and esports prediction game, allowing you to earn crypto risk-free. Check it out now at earnu.com. And ODDSJAM. ODDSJAM has the fastest real-time data integrations to spot discrepancies between different sportsbooks and helping users place risk-free bets. Check them out at oddsjam.com. Next up, at UFC Vegas 51, we have Lina Lansberg taking on Pannie Kianzad. Lina Lansberg, 10-5 overall, 3-2 in her last 5, coming off a decision loss 2 years ago. Pannie Kianzad, 15-6 overall, 4-1 in her last 5, coming off a decision loss to Raquel Pennington. And this is a rematch. They fought originally in 2012. Back then, Pannie won a pretty clear fight with volume, but it's literally been 10 years since that fight. So let's just ignore that because so much has changed since then, it really doesn't matter. Lina Lansberg is a very good striker who's coming off a grappling heavy loss to Sarah McMahon 2 years ago. She's a former Muay Thai world champion, and she fights exactly like one. She's got solid elbows, knees, and amazing clinch work. She's working on her ground game, which could be huge because all of her UFC losses were because she could not defend the takedown, including her loss to Cyborg. So Cyborg decided to take Lina Lansberg down instead of just hanging out on the feet and doing what she normally does. Pannie Kianzad is a very good pure boxer, which means she has a great jab. She never just throws one punch at a time. Her footwork is good, and she can outstrike the vast majority of the division. Like Lina, her issue is also the grappling. She gets taken down and doesn't have much to offer from there, but her strike volume is very impressive, and even though she gets taken down in her losses, she does have an impressive 77% takedown defense. Right now, the odds have Pannie at a 4-1 favorite. And that's kind of surprising because this is essentially striker versus striker, and neither woman will be looking for a takedown, which means you got to look at their striking. And Lansberg is a world champion Muay Thai fighter, and Pannie's a very solid boxer. And I'm just surprised that the odds makers are not giving any credit to the world championship credentials. I understand they have already fought already. I understand that Pannie Kianzad won the first time, but that was 10 full years ago, 10 more years of MMA experience for both of these women, and a lot can change since then. I do think Pannie wins this fight. I just think she needs to stick and move for 15 minutes because if she allows any clinch work at all, I think she ends up in some trouble. So this is another fight. I'm picking the favorite, but I do think these odds are pretty wide. What do you think?
Yeah, glad you kind of mentioned that, the clinch work. I think that this is a boring, clinch-heavy fight, and whoever wins the clinch, those clinch exchanges is going to win the fight. So I agree. I think the odds are a little bit crazy. Not that Lansberg is that good to close the odds. I just don't think Pannie is just this world beater that should be a 4 or 5-1 favorite that's going to finish this fight. I think it's a boring fight. It could come down to a decision, a weird decision, because whoever controls a clinch depends on really who would the judges think, right? There's weird stuff that happens in the clinch a lot of times. Sometimes you'll see the person that's actually winning those exchanges loses rounds because maybe their back's against the cage or whatever it is. Judges are idiots. You know how it goes. So, but Pannie, in those clinch exchanges against Raquel Pennington, she was actually winning some of those, and that's Raquel's game. She ended up losing that fight, obviously, because she lost the majority of those. But some of those fights, some of those exchanges, she was able to switch the exchanges, get Raquel against the cage. I think she does the same thing against Lansberg. You know, she's a Muay Thai champion. To me, she looks a little stiff. She looks a little slow in the striking exchange that I've seen. So I'm going to play the Pannie side. I don't agree with the odds. It's probably more of like a 2-1 favorite. But Pannie should win this fight.
Yeah, I agree. We're aligned here. I'm definitely not spending $9,100 because even if she has a dominant performance, it's just going to be strikes. There's not going to be a finish. There's not going to be a takedown. She's not going to justify the $9,100 price tag. I'm assuming you agree.
Yeah, it's going to be boring. I could be wrong, but I think this can be very, very boring.
I don't know if it'll be boring. I do think it'll be very one-dimensional, though.
I think it's going to be boring.
Okay. And then Monkey Knife Fight, 56-106. Honestly, it probably is a more. 106 is such an enormous number, but she's gotten past that before. And I don't see any grappling from either one of them. I think it's just strike, strike, strike. Certainly some clinch work, could mess with it a little bit, but I still think, she's just so busy. I think she can get past 106, and I have no problem with Lina Lansberg getting past 56. What do you think?
You know how WWE, like when the fight, like especially the older WWE or WWC or WWF or whatever it is, like they would start off the initial with the collar, they both do the collar ties on each other, and they'd walk around the ring like that for like the first 30 seconds of the match. That's going to be this for 15 minutes. They're just going to hold each other in the clinch for 15 minutes. I don't like the 56, but I play less on the 106.
All right, so more or less for you, the Monkey Knife Fight line is interesting, but they have all sorts of prop games in there where you don't need to play just this line. They take random fighters and put them together, so check it out. You might get Pannie versus somebody else, and it's an easy less play if you want to do that. WeWantPicks.com/MKF. They will instantly match your deposit, and if you want some money to make a deposit with, WeWantPicks.com/bets. Sign up with any one of our 5 betting partners. Make a deposit. Let us know if you do, and we send you $50 as a thank you.